Countdown clock on the overlay. Chat scrolling fast, can't read a thing. Got my day ones, got some new names, all riding in on this pixel wave. Scene switch quick, that raid just hit. Hype train glow with the stickers lit. I say, yo, fam, this our year. You spam those emotes, fill the screen and hit. Rocking in the new year on Steve's very own. Every fall like a firework blow. From the VODs to the live shows on. We're loud, we're here, we're here. Rocking in the new year on Steve's very own. From the lunch walk to the chat full blown. If you're in this stream, you're never alone. We're loud, we're loud, we're here, we're home. Take that shot when the timer drops. Hit go live and the beat just pops. Got bad jokes and quiet nights into wild weekends. Pull up chairs in a digital room. Turn that late night scroll to a full-on boom. I say 3, 2, 1, let's ride. You flood the screen, all caps in the sky. Rocking in the new year on Steve's very own. Every follow like a firework blow. From the VODs to the live shows, oh, we're loud, we're here, we're home. Rocking in the new year on Steve's very own. From the lurch one to the chat full blown. If you're in this stream, you're never alone. We're loud, we're here, we're home. Type it out, let me see those hands in the chat all across the lands. From the small screens glow to the massive dreams. We're building this brick by brick as a team. New year, same crew, new place to own. New clips, new bits, new inside jokes. Turn it up till the neighbors know. Steve's very own, let the whole world know. Rocking in the new year on Steve's very own. Every follow like a firework blown. From the VODs to the live shows on. We're loud, we're here, we're home. Rocking in the new year on Steve's very own. From the lunch one to the chat full blown. If you're in this stream, you're never alone. We're loud, we're here, we're home. 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 We're loud, we're here, we're home.
Click on the stream, light the spark. Steve's very own, tearing through the dark. Boom, my fingers on the keys. Old school rhythm, bend in the breeze. Building his world one clip at a time. Pixel by pixel, climbing the climb. No map, no guide, just the screen's glow. Steve very own and the show. Hey chat, you there? Hey chat, who cares? Steve's very own. Breaking the code. He's got the fire. Riding the load. Steve's very own. The crowd's his home. Streaming a soul into the unknown. Gamepad shaking, voice alive. Every moment's fight or survive. Boomers laugh, cuts through the air. Trolls and fans, they're all out there. Pixels crackle as the scenes collide. He's got the heart to stem the tide. The grind, the rise, the late night tunes. Steve's anthem under the moon. Steve's very own. Break
That's quite big. Impressive.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good
You are
evening.
enjoying Steve's very own
I sure
live.
hope so. Welcome to Steve's very own on a Wednesday night. Hope everybody's doing fine. Yesterday I did a stream off of Linux. I had done that for a while. I had tested it out a couple weeks in a row. But I had gotten StreamerBot over, installed on bottles, and most of my OBS stuff over. Very easy to port, but there are always going to be difficulties whether you're going from Windows to Linux or Linux to Windows. Kind of did a wrong thing to my watchers. I labeled a stream, Windows to Linux, meaning I wanted to do it about streaming. So, but I think I imparted some pretty good wisdom if you are thinking about coming over from Windows to Linux, like a lot of people are doing, because Windows 10, if you were lucky, you got the extra year of security updates. If you're unlucky, you had to go up to Windows 11. Or if you're very unlucky, you decided to stay on Windows 10 with no security updates and you're still streaming and connected to the internet, which, good luck. Always want to be secure. There's always stuff. People are after Windows all the time. All sorts of, viruses and backdoors. Every day there's something being talked about. But now there's a problem now that Linux is being, its share is going up. So is the attacks. Hello. Hello, Jacob. Jacob, is Linux more secure than Windows? You will hear that it is. It is not necessarily true. Not necessarily false. With the fact that Linux does not own the market share of computer programming, it's not like Windows. Windows is everywhere, and Linux is slowly coming up. I think the 4 to 5% of computer users around the world use Linux. It's secure to the fact that it won't, like, specific targeted Windows viruses or backdoors and all that won't affect Windows. Yes, it will affect Windows. Won't affect Linux. And also the Linux community, the distros in that, are extremely quick in supplying updates, and updating security, much quicker than Windows can react. You'd think where there's the money, there's the technology, there's the help, and that's not the case. You usually got to wait a while, unless it's really, really bad. Then Windows might force something out. but every distribution in Linux is a little bit different. Um, so you know, so in that aspect, it is more secure, but it's not. You if you are you just coming into the Linux world? Are you just curious? And thank you for joining today. I appreciate it. Are you just coming into the Linux world, or are you curious, wondering if you should? There are some great stuff, and I mean, I've been on Linux. You just got into it a month ago. Oh, just a wee bit of a baby there. You know, you're gonna have some fun. I'm not. I know much people that have been on Linux for since the beginning, but I I've been on since 2015, and I'm still learning. I mean, I'm an old boomer. I go back in the days where I used to tear apart my Windows machines, you know, delete stuff or take stuff out and break it all the time, and just, you know, half the fun was reinstalling. Now I'm well past that. I just so want a system that just works. And I know there's a lot of talk about Windows and people not like it, especially Windows 11. For me, for streaming, for using StreamerBot and OBS and out of the tools that you can use, it beats out Linux in that aspect. If you are just a a streamer that doesn't care about fancy stuff or actions and just want to put a label on your stream and stream, Linux is fine. Windows is fine in that aspect too. There's no judgment here in how you stream. No one has to do what I do. God, if you watch Sushi Dragon, oh my God, the stuff that guy can do on his stream, but it's fun. And I was struggling getting back to Linux. I don't think anytime soon again, because getting things to work is an issue for me. So what are you using, Jacob? What distro did you check out for your first time into Linux? Zorin OS, good choice. Good choice. Is it the Zorin? Let's see. So it would be Zorin 18. And how old do you have it on a laptop? Oh, of course. Yeah, it's free. Every Linux is free. Although you can pay for a friend, a version of Zorin OS that will give you direct email support and all that kind of stuff. ThinkPads are supposedly really good. I got a bunch of HPs, but I was given to them. So ThinkPads are really good with Linux. Zorin is a good choice. There's a lot of cool things about it. And they make sure, did you let's see, there's two versions of Zorin OS. There's Zorin OS Lite and then the regular Zorin, and then of course there's a Pro that you pay $40 for and get email support and all sorts of new extra stuff with it. But you're just as good, with Zorin. Very good choice first time out, in my opinion. An Ubuntu-based system is just perfect to start out with. Zorin's got all the tools in there, and if you want something that works, that's it. That is it. I was a big Pop OS user for a number of years, and then they belong with their new desktop and that, and it's still not ready. So I've been around long enough. I haven't installed Arch from scratch, and I will not install Arch from scratch. But I use a system that's based on Arch Endeavor OS. A lot different than what you're using in that. Do you stream or anything, or were you just looking to replace Windows with stuff that works? You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy your time with it. You'll run across some things that'll be a bit difficult in that, but you know, like Windows and Gates. Oh yeah, you'll fit right into the community. um, yeah, and once you go on, you'll find a bunch of stuff. You know, just watch out for that rabbit hole. Trying out distros, but now you know you got Zorin. You know, you get yourself a good size, you know, USB. Learn to put Ventoy on it, and then you can have several distributions on a good size, you know, and you can test them all out to your heart's content, and you don't have to worry about your system. You can do it on Windows too, but so have fun, have fun. Anything that troubles you at first? Anything that you find odd? Just enjoying your exploration. You want to dual boot, but Reddit's not a good idea. Yeah. I actually have on a laptop. It is a little bit more difficult because you know you only have one SSD hard drive. So far, no, it's fine. You like it? Good. So yeah, some systems don't like, even on Linux, they don't like another system on the same hard drive. Um, you know, even before I came to Linux, I dual booted Windows 7 and Windows 10 when Windows 10 first came out. And even the Windows ones fought each other. When I went into Windows 10, it would wipe out the Windows 7 restore point. And then I added another hard drive because I'm on my desktop. I added another hard drive, and then I had on that one hard drive I had at the time was it's Peppermint Linux and then Linux Mint. So I was quadrupling. quad. Now on my system here, I do have I have Windows and Endeavor OS, different hard drives, but I install them with the other one unplugged, so it doesn't get caught up in booting, and I boot through the BIOS. So, you know, but at one time I had I bought a bunch of SSDs that were like only 120 gig for like $9 each at Micro Center, not far from where I live. And so I'll test out stuff and plug it in, and I just take off the one side of my desktop over here, and then I got access to my hard drives and that. Hey, Tony. Welcome to the party, pal. We're on Windows today. Oh, I didn't even start any music. I need to get some music going. I need to wake up, even though it's late. So on Twitch, you'll hear the music. On YouTube, you won't. I figured out how to get my videos working on Linux, Tony. I was putting in the Wong address. But yeah, I stay away from Grub and all that with the booting, and I boot through BIOS, and you know, but it's really hard to dual boot on a laptop. It's not hard, but you can run into kind of issues in that. So Tony, I changed you know, where the icons float up. Do you prefer bouncing around icons or emotes, the emojis? So Jacob, so you know, on Tuesdays I'll stream from Linux, and you know, I'll talk about it, and I'll get you like the bouncing around. Okay, I'll fix that. I can fix that good enough. Hold on. I was looking at Social Stream Ninja. And they have floating icons now, and I was hoping that it would kind of like not go straight up. I hate those new ones like some streamers use. They're flakes and one just kind of falls down. I don't like those. Let me fix that.
You are enjoying Steve's very own live.
Why, thank you. Where's my emote? All right, they'll bounce around
You are
again now.
enjoying Steve's very own live.
Well, you are welcome, Jacob. Hope you stick around. If you have any questions, you can ask. But then on like I said, Tuesdays, you'll usually, I usually stream on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Sometimes I'll do a surprise stream on Friday or Saturday. There you go, Tony. But on Tuesdays, I'm going to start doing stuff in Linux and getting my stream going there. Talk about the differences if those that are streaming, whether they use StreamerBot or some other program, you might not get it to work 100%. I already found, like in StreamerBot, I have voice control. Let me see if voice control is working today. I don't pay these people, these voices, nothing. Let's see, logs. There we go. So if I say left desktop Friday, there we go.
Here's the left scene, Steven.
Oh, I know. You know what? So when I was porting my stuff over from Windows to Linux, the audio controls, yeah, the music's in there, so that should be okay. So the audio control, the difference between Windows and then Linux with Pipewire. If I had to, I tried to delete it in Linux because it was a different plugin and it was in red. It wouldn't let me delete it, and it would crash OBS in Linux. So I had to go through and remove it. So I'm going to go through a couple of scenes here and make sure, we got my microphone here.
You are enjoying Steve's
I don't use this
very
one much,
own
but the
live.
microphone's in there. And the microphone is here. Hi. And the microphone is here. Desktop left. We put the mic in just now. Desktop right. Okay, the microphone is here. my movie quiz show scene. The microphone's in there. And the pool scene, my story scene. Okay. There we go. I just
You are
didn't put it
enjoying
back in
Steve's
all of them.
very own live.
So. And then I got, like some ideas for those that are streaming, if you to make it easier. So how was your evening today, Tony? I meant to say you're basically a Spanish citizen, am I correct? You have your citizenship with Spain? That was the perfect girl for you, Carmine. Total yesterday. Whatever. How you doing tonight, Carmine? But anyway, like some of the audio stuff porting over from Linux to Windows to Linux, that was a pain to fix. Oh yeah, you have just residents anyway. Well, I saw a speech by I believe your prime minister, right? Is he president? Spain has a president or a prime minister? I forget. But he was before it was the called the Conference of Governors, but it was like all presidents. I don't know, but he was talking about how Spain and some other countries in Europe are really going to start going after the PM. Okay, it was starting to go after like those on their platforms, like Musk with X and Zuckerberg. Welcome to Tim. Oh, Tim, is that you, Tim? Is that you, Tim? Where they can go after the owners of go after if there's stuff that is hateful or hurtful on YouTube, or not YouTube, probably YouTube, but on X and Instagram and all that, they can go and seize their assets. They're going to start stuff like that to make them more accountable. It was a very nice speech. Oh, Tim, is that you, Tim? If that you, Tim, you might burn up in flames because I'm on Windows here. What have you been doing, Carmine? What's happening? Saw your a little bit of your video of the 5 Linux families. But yeah, some of those flame on. Now see,
I can do this in Linux, but I can't get my voice to change in Linux. Because, well, I could if I went on an X11 system. But I can't get the Windows to open up in OBS on Linux, or else it will crash. So I can't edit any VSTs. I can't have my voice change. That pisses me off.
You know, I'm waiting to get banned on Facebook. I'll tell you, because I've been posting. You know, like I don't label Zuckerberg exactly. You know, so you show his name will show up on Facebook. I call him a Zuckerberger. Zuckerberger. You're just getting ready to sign up for Medicare Part A, but keep working with no penalty, I think. Yes. Yes, you need to sign up for it. But that's about it. You at 65, you need to sign up, right? 65? And you don't, so the big part is signing up for Part B. You don't need to do that. You have a 3-month window after you retire to sign up for Part B, just so you know. So how you doing, Tim? Hope you're doing well. It's been a long time since you've seen me here. I'm a total different streamer from the last time you've been on I stream. I don't do like guests or that. Yeah, so yeah, Carmike. So what it took a while for me to figure, to understand that. But yeah, you have to sign up for A. Make sure that your place of business does not, I never put Walgreens, I never let them know that I had Medicare. And the A only covers hospital, which, God damn, all the old timers are showing up tonight. Welcome, Ollie. How are you? What you do, you have you can sign up anywhere within the month before you retire to have it really start up when you retire, up to 2 months after you retire. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, we're surviving here in the States. It's just gotta turn down the music a little bit for me. We got the stupid shit going on here, in our lovely country, where we have all sorts of problems, but we're gonna pick on young Olympians and stuff like that. Surviving sounds about right, yeah. Just a mess here. Just a frickin' mess. You'll keep drinking wine to stay healthy? Yeah, but even wine, any alcohol. You're not supposed to drink any alcohol. The alcohol outweighs any of the benefits that one might get from like red wine and such. I like my beer, but I haven't had, I had a beer 2 weeks ago. I can't stand the headaches anymore, and it's right. Every time I find a beer that doesn't really affect me the next day, it's like someone's out there. That Steve character likes our beer. We can't have that. Let's stop making it. But And then I'm by myself. My wife never, she doesn't drink, and so I don't. My son doesn't drink. He'll threaten to. I need a beer. They're downstairs. Oh, you'd love to see me drunk, wouldn't you? Yeah, you're a lightweight. You'd pass out right away like your mom. Still taking care of your mom? Okay, I'm glad she's still around. That's good. We have, we're worried about my father-in-law. He's healthy, but then he's not healthy. He's in the hospital a lot. He's got a blood issue. But I had in fact I'm going for therapy for it now. You can barely see it now. I had carpal tunnel surgery on my right hand. I have no feeling in my thumb. And I can my thumb I can't that's as far as I can go. Or I can do this with the left. It's all dead in here. And so I started, therapy, try to strengthen it and that. I still got my back issue. Never had surgery. When the doctor told me, he goes, "Yeah, we can fix that up for you, but you'll just trade one pain for the other. You'll trade it for surgery pain, and you'll have, you think you have no movement now, you'll have less movement after the surgery." So, and then I have a blood platelet issue, and it was really low in December. But after all the tests I had, I did a test. I stopped taking ibuprofen, and it shot up again. Ibuprofen can kill your blood platelets, but I have called ITP, where my immune system is attacking my platelets. So, but otherwise, I'm not on any maintenance medication. There's no diabetes, no blood pressure, none of that crap. I'll go out. If I happen to, like my buddy will go out once in a while. I'll have a few beers. But the ex finally got her medical disability, but has to pay back the entire benefit pay she got from her employer. You surely didn't have a godfather to help her? What? That sucks. Did they give her benefit pay for forward months? Because I know like your disability won't pay back. Yeah, welcome to America. I was thinking today, and I know that's pretty dangerous. I was thinking today. We have a president that all he cares about is his name on shit. Put my shit name on that building. Put my shit name on that building. Put my shit name on there. Put up a fucking statue because I'm me. You might be looked upon forever if you really got us really good national health care, really good national education. People would talk about you in a good light forever. Hateful fuck. He is such a. Excuse my language. Sorry, guys. Not a family friendly stream. We're in such a state that, I mean, it's never, no matter what, never going to go. No matter who's next, it's never going to be good again. We're just ruined. I can dream, but am I right? That building can be torn down. That building can be sold and someone else put their name on there. That statue could be melted. But national health care can go on forever. That's why he hates the plan that's out there. I better watch out. ICE show up at my door. Nobody's home. Oh, we hear you. No, it's just a recording. Oh. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, our healthcare system is not pro-life, but we still have power of the vote. I would run it as independent healthcare as pro-life. We think we still have the power of the vote. We'll see. You know that they're wrong in what they're doing because what they're trying to do to keep people from voting. Oh, but the immigrants, they're all voting. They're all voting for the left. They got thousands of millions of votes going on. That's bullshit. If you believe that, Carmine's got a bridge to sell you.
Emotional damage.
Social Security took your money because you went over the threshold of what I can make. Oh. Yeah, you got to watch that, and they will. How long has he got in office? Forever. He's not going anywhere. Well, Social Security's always been, you could make, and it it depends on your age. And it depends on how much. But at certain ages, you can go out back out and almost work full time and not get penalized. But I know things have changed a bit. But they've always I had this woman that worked for me that was retired, and she would count her hours and all that, and then I learned that it was kind of true, but a bit of a bitch, a bit of a lie, and she just didn't want to work. And because then she was like, I need the hours. Well, you said you couldn't work. Well, I'll work. I'll take up these hours now. I don't need you now. Well, I'm not wrong about it. The bubble, the people in the bubble think that immigrants are voting like crazy and keeping the left in power, and that's not true. Might be what they find that in the last 20 years, they might have found like 0.1%, 0.01%. Your dad had heart surgery after filming The Value of Life. His bill was in Italy was zero. Now that's value of life. Yeah. Yes, he pays the taxes, right? But isn't it nice to pay it up front? I tell you. Yes, I got Medicare and I have a supplement. Between Medicare B and a supplement and dental, the plan that I have carries dental, eye care, and hearing. It still costed me about $500 a month. It's not free. But I'll tell you, you know what this cost me? Let's see if I can do it. I'll do it with Sam. And there was no turning down anything or. I only had 2 heart attacks back in August. And bleed on the brain. Oh my gosh. Not to be morbid, Holly. You might not have been around to find out. Whoa. Too many people out there. Well, I never had it when I was younger. Now I don't expect anybody else to have it. Right. All right, Tony. Go to bed, my friend. I always appreciate you jumping in. I can always depend on you. Cody must be with his girlfriend tonight. Otherwise, I think he would have been on already. Now, Bernie is right. We need a revolution of all voters to demand health care for all. Yeah. Tim, retiring early, even, a number of years ago before all this happened was not, you do what what you have to do. I actually would have, if I didn't have my back issue, I probably would have stretched out for a while. I don't know if I would have gone on to 70. All I know is right now, Walgreens ain't the place to work. Sorry, Walgreens people. I am not missing that at all. From a once great company, and that company's kind of, fallen. That's just the way of business. But now they're part of an equity firm. They're private. Yeah, at 67, you'll be able to make whatever you want. I thought we were close in age, Tim, but apparently not. Are you saying you're younger than me? Steve Reno Robot is my YouTube bot, Ollie. Tony was on Twitch. So what you're seeing by the magic that I create with StreamerBot, I'm able to send, which don't tell Twitch, I'm able to send Twitch's chat to YouTube and YouTube's chat to Twitch, so you guys can talk to each other. And I learned that from a he does mostly on YouTube streamer Boom So Much. And then as the OL bot is my Twitch bot. So it's not like I'm sending the messages, but they're coming from my bots. So YouTube, when they reply, will come up on Twitch as from the SVOL bot, and then when people talk on Twitch, it shows up in YouTube as Steve Areno Robot, but with their name after it. My supplement is Mutual of Omaha. That's the magic. That's what I can do. I can, and that even works in Linux. I got that. It works in Linux. Joseph Ventura said it best: if a rich person can't live on 100 million per year, then that person is mentally ill. Yep. I don't begrudge anybody creating a company, a business, but god damn, like, you can take a shitload of money away from Musk and he'd still be rich. Don't begrudge anybody that, but God, pay your share, oh, well, I don't make Social Security and that. Well, pay your taxes. But you're not going to pay any taxes when the president says my buddies don't have to pay taxes. It's 1:30 in England. You're an hour behind, Tony. I appreciate you staying up, Ollie. Normally I stream a little bit earlier on Wednesdays, but our schedule's changing up a bit. My wife got a promotion. My son got his 4th degree black belt, and he's going to start working on his 5th degree, which is a several year program, and he's got to start helping to teach classes. So my schedule's changing a bit. And he'll be at karate tonight. He's got 2 classes, and then the class that he's helping to teach. So he's gone from 6 until 8:30. You're 65? I'm going to be 70 this year, Tony. Let's see. I'm going to find some other music here. You got as high as 2nd degree? Yeah, he's been in it. He's going to be 31 this year. He's been in it since he was 5. Is he a Chuck Norris? No. But I wouldn't want to be on the back end of his spinning back kick. That is for sure. And again, if you're on YouTube, you won't hear any of my music. So I got my music player up here. Only you'll hear music on Twitch, because I'll get been on Linux since 2014. Tim was a noob. Yeah. I tell you though, but I cannot with what I do now with my streaming and all the stuff that I have, it is just very difficult for me. I'll put it out there for me to do this. I mean, a lot of this stuff doesn't work in Linux. And once I learn to do this stuff, I'm sorry, I'll deal with Windows. Windows is only my streaming platform. I don't really do a lot on here on Windows if I'm not streaming, outside of setting up things for my stream. I still do most of my computing on Linux, and I am on Arch, by the way. Simple Arch. I'm on Endeavor OS on 4 systems. I have my wife on Arch. I have my desktop. My desktop has Windows and Endeavor OS. The laptop I have up here, which I monitor the stream with on Twitch and on YouTube, that has Endeavor OS XFCE. I have GNOME on my desktop. My wife is on GNOME on her laptop that I put on. And then I have another old laptop downstairs showing a slideshow that has Endeavor XFCE on it. Arch destroys brain cells only if you let it.
You are enjoying Steve's very own live.
But Ali has Cashy OS, 2 PCL OS, because you work on that, 1 OpenBox, 1 Plasma. Yeah, I love my GNOME desktop. And yes, it takes extensions, but that's okay. All right, go to sleep, Ali. Let's keep him going. Tell him how great PC Linux OS is. Sweet dreams, Ali. Thanks for joining. I always appreciate it when you show up. It's nice. We have some of the old timers here tonight. Had a new person on Arch show up earlier. I don't know if you're still watching, Jacob. But I did a stream yesterday where I just, it's like, you see a lot of stuff out there. You're watching with Ubuntu tonight on 2011 desktop. A little slow, but still works. But if you're on Twitch, you'll be seeing some ads soon. But yeah, I mean, I like all the stuff that I can do on a Windows machine. Do I have some issues? Maybe. Joe will get on here and keep talking about ads. I never ever see an ad. The only ad from Windows, I'll see an ad once in a while from NVIDIA about a game because I got the NVIDIA set up. But I don't have anything blocked, I don't think. I never see an ad. You wish Walmart had more than just Chromebooks for Linux? Say what you want. Chrome OS is they if that is Linux, they it is like the cream of the crop. You plug things in and it picks up stuff right away. Yes, you can't do OBS on it. Even though some of the newer Chromebooks have a lot more power, and OBS will not set up for Chromebook. They claim that they have to make some other changes in that. You know, it's enough that they do for Linux too. They do a pretty good job. I did. I mean, I will never install Arch from scratch. I know others love it and do it. And those will say that, oh, Endeavor is not Arch. Yeah, it is. I mean, my setup on Arch, my OBS through the AUR, all my plugins through the AUR. But I actually ran, so when Pop OS, when they decided that they wanted to come out with a new desktop, and we're not going to go to 2404 on Ubuntu. I started looking at other things because that means a lot of stuff, my hardware and that wouldn't be updated. So Adam, our friend Adam, you know, you suggested. Hello, Mark 109. Or is that I09? I don't know. PT 109? Welcome, Mark, to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. I'm doing well. Are you the Mark I know so well from back in the day? Are you another old timer showing up? But I ran Endeavor because he's told like that Arch would help with my video card and all that. And I ran Endeavor for over 9 months before I came to Windows. And never once really had a problem. Oh, you're new. Welcome. Well, welcome, Mark. What brings you here today? I am Steve. Welcome. I am, I guess, a variety streamer. I talk about tech. I talk about OBS and StreamerBot. And I've been a Linux user for a long time, but I do most of my streaming off of Windows now. But I'm starting to go back into Linux, with the streaming and that. Talking about things like that. I love to play GeoGuessr. On Thursdays, I play GeoGuessr. And then Sundays, I have a coffee clutch. We just really just chatting that. You will probably install Ubuntu 26 with your new refurb HP you got with AMD. Yes, ask me any question except will you pay my bill? All questions are welcome as long as they're friendly and nice. But every time I turn around, there's something. I'm sure you can't help, but maybe I can give you some new view. I guess it depends on what it is, so go ahead and ask. But what started turning me off about like Linux and that, it wasn't the Linux and stuff, it's the community. I am so tired of the hateful stuff. And Microsoft probably deserves it, but stuff is past, you know? We have some of our old friends still talking about when Windows deleted files. That was a subset, and that was 2015, 2016. Windows 10 was still relatively new. Hey, yeah, I use Windows. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I just got tired. I don't know. I just got tired of that stuff in the community. On one hand, they'll say, "Oh no, just use what you use." But if you're using Windows, you're fucked up. But we're in a world where half the country is not half the country, a quarter of the country, we'll say, is having a shit fit because of a Puerto Rican singing in the national, or at the Super Bowl. We got more problems than that. But that's exactly what it is. Like in when Windows is talked about, it's not the computer, it's not the OS's fault. It's a tool. Yeah, you're right. That's a rough one. You graduated with an MS in chemical engineering in Europe, but no one wants to hire me because I don't speak the local language and I can't go home. For some reason, my visa expires in a month. What should I do? I wish I could answer that for you. I have no idea. It's definitely well out of my realm of any knowledge in that. Unfortunately, all I can do is hope for the best for you. But yeah, but you're welcome. I wish I could. I don't have any answers for you. That's like well out of my realm of any type of knowledge or basically any type of knowledge. But I hope you do well. But on the Windows thing, it's just delete a file once and you're damaged forever. You but how many times? Carmine, how many times have Linux failed, right? You didn't watch the Super. It was a good Super Bowl. It's a shame, the Bears, they could have relived their big Super Bowl championship. Patriots did not show up. I didn't watch. I watched some of it. The Seahawks were just dominated. Although they had to settle for 4 field goals. Yeah, they want them deported to Puerto Rico. We forget it's an American. It's part of America. Steve, you know how I feel. Windows is sacrilege. Tim, that I think I might have pissed off a lot of people. Your teacher made you games on Linux at school when you were 10? How could yeah. Tim needs a priest. Oh, don't bring religion into the picture. Oh, wrong place for that. But no, it's like how can an operating system have a what's the word? It's just an operating system. The company, it's I don't know. You love them so much. There were the games that he made were penguins. Oh man. Ideology, yeah. An operating system can't have ideology. It's just built. It's to use. It's a tool. I'm, the community just. Yeah, I was when I came. Oh yeah, this is great. Yeah, you can make, you can use Linux to make games, and Linux is running games better these days than ever before. But still, a majority of your most popular games, of course, are made on and for Windows. But one can have fun. I still enjoy being on Linux. It's like I said, it's my main, it's my main daily driver, as they like to call it, right? But I can't stream the way I like to stream now on Linux. I'm starting to set things up again, but I lose actually 20, 25% of my streaming tool things that I use. Just going back to Linux. That's not going to be a full-time thing. That's going to just be a once in a week thing maybe. And that's just me. Back when you had CDs, they said games weigh very, very little on Linux. Yeah, I guess depending on how they were built and that. All right, be here for a little bit. Timo. Here's for you, Carmine. I think I flipped that video. Couldn't read the shirt. Things like that I can do on Linux. Oh, look at this guy getting in the way. I got to redo that. I got some of these I have to redo. Or just remove them. Well, let's ask the 8-ball. Will Steve completely give up Windows? The original AI, the 8-ball, very doubtful. Yes, Mark, I live in America. I live in the Midwest. There's one for you, Carmine. Install Arch. Oh, it knows you. The 8-ball's reply is no. You will not install Arch. How are things going here? Depends on what side you're on. I'm on the side that says it sucks. Although it greatly hasn't affected us in a way, more my mental health. But no, I think all in all, what's going on in our country is not a good thing. And I don't ever see it going back. Not that it was ever a great thing, you know. Our country, like all other countries, you know, we've had our issues since our inception, and you have a lot of different news from America, even though it's far away. You don't understand why there's so much hype. Because unfortunately, or it has been part of world history, how America goes, the world goes. If you don't mind me asking, where you know, what part of the world are you from? If you're not comfortable telling me, that's okay. But oh, you're from Hungary, so yeah, you doesn't Hungary have its own issues? That I might have, you know, I'm an ignorant American in that, but isn't that Erdogan? Or is that You're in Hungary, but you're not from. No, I thought. What was I thinking? Yeah, I got my president's message. I know there's a couple of them out in that part of the world that are causing just as much ruckus in their countries as what's going on here, but I'm good. I'm glad it's quiet there. But no, I hope, you know, I don't know, the whole world situation is kind of crappy. Now, all most of us just want to do is live our life and have a certain amount of freedom and, you know, uh, do what we need to do to have a a long life. And then there's a subset that just likes to watch the world burn. I don't know. But anyway, it's I depress myself when I start talking about that. I watch too much shit. But oh. So how did you I just curious, Mark, how did you come across were you just um scrolling through Twitch and come across? I'm always interested. There are still more opportunities for young people. Yeah, and I mean, a lot of young people here. I don't know what the future is going to be like, but I know many more that are looking and instead of going to college because college is just so expensive here, are going to trade schools. You know, we're always going to need something repaired. Oh, excuse me, getting late. But yeah. What things do you like to do for fun? I like doing this. Depending on the stream and the people I get, depends on how uh, react, how I get on. I mostly do this to keep my mind. I'm 69 years old. I'm gonna be 70 later this year. So I do this to keep my mind going. Like chatting with people from around the world and, Got lots of friends. Learning about other parts of the world. I watch a lot of movies and listen to a lot of audiobooks. For example, because of the internet, I can connect with a professor in France and arrange um, is that like a conference call or an American to talk about the world. This helps a lot. PhD, okay. Yeah, I mean, say what you want. I mean, the internet is a double-edged sword. It could cut both ways. But I mean, I can just I'm probably never going to be this huge streamer, and that's okay with me. That there's more personal reasons why I do this. And a lot of things have helped me improve. I was never a very good speaker. I mean, I finished high school. I never I did a trade school for a while. I was going to be an auto mechanic, and then I got sidetracked into management. I never went to college. I don't have a college degree, but I managed to be able to find a wife that I've been with for over 30, 35 years. We've been married for 34, 33. We have a home that's paid off and all that. But I get on here and I'm retired and I have, I'll call them friends. Australia, Japan, Philippines, India, South Africa, Spain, England, a lot of friends in England, Norway, Germany. And then, of course, a lot here in the States, some up in Canada, Sao Paulo, Brazil, Costa Rica. The far south suburbs of Chicago. You really dream about family and children? I have an adult son. He's 30. He's still going to be 31. Got a good wife. When it comes down to it, I don't think I have a lot to complain about as far as my life goes. Do I want things? Would I like things? Yeah. Would like to do more. We've been in this house for 32 years. God, 32 years. It's falling like any home, it's falling apart. I dream about a nice sitting area in our backyard and going on vacations. And then here we'll talk about food and movies and interesting stuff and just all about fun. You want your own family and home so much. I have, I for me as a person, the time I'm in, whether I've gone through, I get like anybody else, I've gone through rough times and hard times, and there's times I kick myself, why did I do that? Why didn't I do that? Things that we all do as human beings, right? I almost went in the Navy. I wanted to go into the Navy, and I got a car and a girlfriend, and that changed all that. I don't sit there going, man, I wish I went in the Navy. Because then that negates what I have now. That makes sense? Total OS dreams about Sanibel Island. Oh, is that what you call that island now? Ooh. But yeah, I don't I don't I think about my past. Unfortunately, at times I think about all the negative things, that had happened. Things that, regardless of what happened then, I'm here now. Yes, granted, if something happened when things went the wrong way, I might not be here. But I can't, this is the life to have, you gotta, I hope that you are able to have a life that you're looking for. I mean, I know these days it's just trials and tribulations, and I don't know about the rest of the world. I hear there's certain parts of the world where um, housing is relatively inexpensive, but people can barely afford to put money together to buy a house these days, and to live in an apartment. Chicago is probably one of the Chicago area in the States here, because of the different types of housing. We have lots of apartments and multiple family homes and things like that. Not necessarily more affordable, but there's more available places to live where, you can go from an apartment to home. But man, apartments are just, I hope your generation changes things, Every generation has done something. It's a battle right now, but what can I say? But anyway, not a but um what are my plans next? Just just to hopefully live as long as I can. Um I never knew my paternal grandfather. He passed away long before we were in the picture. A relatively young man. My father, I'm now at the age that he died. So when he was 69, the following year he developed lymphoma, and it was diagnosed in March of 92, and he passed away in September of that year. Just ate him up. The lymph glands are just connected to your whole system, and then cancer, and it just spread like wildfire. So I'm at the age, so that's on my mind. If I can get past this year, I know I can live. I'm relatively healthy. I have a lot of physical issues, but I don't have any major medical issues. No diabetes, no high blood pressure, no bad cholesterol. I'm on no maintenance medication whatsoever. And knock on wood. This real wood, nice. It's pretty much real wood. So just to do things, kind of improve my house. We have a lot of housework that we have, repairs that need to be done, and we've been going on vacations. I would love. My father was from Austria, and I've never, outside of getting to some of the islands, I've been to Puerto Rico, but I've never really been out of the country. And maybe I can get a trip, get over to Europe one of these years before I can't walk anymore. You quit drinking because you're afraid of health issues. Yeah, drinking, I think, they're saying now, not even in moderation. A lot of issues in that. My son doesn't drink. My son tells me he doesn't want to be brain dead like me. I love my son. Oh. Oh well. Oh, excuse me. Right. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong in moderation. I will have a beer once in a while, and but I don't sit there. I mean, like I said, I haven't had a beer in a couple of weeks now. Traveling gives you so much energy, even a simple tourist trip. I would, well, I mean, we drove down to Florida this past year, uh, down to Orlando, and I've only taken two real long drives in our country. America's pretty freaking big, and the thing about Europe is you can travel to many countries, and many of them are like just hours away, and you get to see different cultures and things like that. I have a niece that's going to school in England for the semester. She went, and they'll get like long weekends. She went to Greece to do snorkeling. She's been to France. She's been to Germany. She's been to Holland. She's been to last weekend. She went to Scotland. Steve, we all get old. I've been blessed, 4 kids, 6 grandkids, good family. That's one thing I'll probably never have is a grandkid. And if we do, they're going to call us deceased. That's the only thing that will be kind of missing in our family. There are reasons we actually live a different life. So. But anyway, my friends, I am going to call it a night here. I in certain aspects, this is a great country to see. There, the differences. Again, it's a double-edged sword. The best part about our country is the differences. The worst part about our country is the differences. But yeah, a lot of nature, a lot of places to see. But well, I am going to have to. I'm going to call it a night. I got to get finish up dinner. We have a late dinner tonight because my wife took our son to karate, so she hasn't eaten yet. So, and you have all of us, Tim, are the Lennox family. I don't know, personally, a lot of my Lennox family needs to be smacked in the back of the head, but that's just me. But I'm going to call it a night. Please, Mark, I hope things work well for you. Come back if you see me again. Like I said, I stream different times. You can see my schedule on Twitch. Usually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and then Sundays. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. I'm U.S. Central, so it's usually around 3 o'clock, 3:30 or so.
Oh, hey Mark_I09. Thanks for hitting that follow button.
Thanks for the follow, Mark. Just hit that follow and you'll get a notification when I go live. So, all right, it's time. Friday, let's say goodbye. Oh, I gotta wake Friday up. Friday, let's say goodbye. Friday, let's say goodbye. All right, let me see. Friday, let's say goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching.
That's what I get. When you pay nothing, you get nothing. Thank you, Friday. All right, I want to thank you guys for being here. Jacob, who, hey, you missed it, Carmine. He was on Zorin for a month. Following Steve, Mr. Tony. Total OS today, Carmine. Timo. Ollie, Present Arms, and our new friend, Mark. Thank you guys for joining today. Again, I will be on tomorrow in the afternoonish my time. We played some GeoGuessr. I love playing because it takes us around the world. I love GeoGuessr. That's been my game of choice. So I will see you then. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for stopping off. Have yourself a good day. If that timer goes dying. This is all automated. It'll go to another scene and it'll go bye-bye. All right, take care, guys. Bye.